All right, here comes the people who have nothing better to do than to destroy their own country. They probably pee in their own tubs. I was telling I was telling my friend Terry here how BLM showed up in our conservative, relatively affluent, middle class neighborhood. Well, basically, Terry, it wasn't BLM like you see in all the videos and the big inner city guys and all that. It's basically like 10 troublemakers who got a bunch of stupid Exeter high school kids who want to be in the cool clique with the new thing, and the new thing being BLM, and the teachers who should be fired instantly for even encouraging this kind of behavior in a community, in their community specifically, got together, and I guess they decided they were going to. So they had to get a permit.
Yep.
So they had to go to my township and get permits.
Yep.
Because the police were there. It wasn't just something they showed up.
Right.
They had the streets shut down. They had road signs. They had police escorts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole nine.
Yeah,
and
I wonder how much that costs. Like, you gotta pay some of that. You can't just do it for free. You know, you gotta like.
The thing is that obviously somebody's funding this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And this will come into play later in the conversation because somebody's funding this bullshit. And obviously to them, money's no object when BLM has, what, $2 billion in their fund now? After the sports people folded like the cheap whores they are.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I hope they lose money. I hope they really.
They are.
I hope they lose. Destroyed. Yeah. I hope they lose.
I love it. We're going to have to come up. It'll be a whole new NFL soon. A whole new version. Because they're going away. They're paying, apparently from what I understand on the internet, they're paying all their bullshit millions of dollars out of their investment money. The owners. That can only last so long.
Right.
So.
Well,
so we come home.
It's a sport. It's a sport that requires a continual flow of revenue, based on playing football games, advertising, merchandise, right? So that revenue stream is going to go like that, right? Yeah, right. And then the players aren't going to take any less money because I'm sure their players union is jabbing the owners, right? Saying you still got to pay these guys,
Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. So you figure on your average team, there's at least 4 or 5 that are multi-million-dollar contracts, and then there's the rest of the team that are millions and millions of dollars a contract.
Yeah.
And then there's just the infrastructure to run the bullshit.
Yeah.
And and then nobody's watching TV anymore. And I don't know.
We'll see.
Basketball I think basketball might eat by because basketball fans are like, they watch mostly on TV anyway.
Right.
Although I still don't see how a buzzer beater is going to be the same when no fans are in this fucking stadium.
They're just going to pipe in. They're just going to pipe in fake fan sounds.
They're going to start doing laugh tracks, you think? They're going to do audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? I don't know.
It's a new world we're living in. So I get back to my story. So we come home from church.
Yeah.
And I asked, and apparently he said there's going to be BLM in my neighborhood, and I grab my Blue Lives Matter flag and I get my butt over there. Because I had 3 flags to choose from. Don't tread on me, the American flag, and Blue Lives Matter. And I said, I know which one will really bother them the most. So that's the one I grabbed, the Blue Lives Matter one. Plus, I'll get the cops on my back. They'll have my back.
Right.
So I go down there, and the first thing they do, they come down our road, and then as soon as they see our protest area, or not protest, we're just there.
Yeah.
On the side of the road, they stop and they take a knee. And I have this video, and I'll send it to you, and maybe I'll edit it into this video. So they take a knee. Black Lives Matter. And now they're a bunch of kids and a bunch of nobody, like idiots. Like not one of them has been oppressed ever in their entire lives. We know none of them have been slaves, but none of them have even been slightly oppressed in Exeter Township, Pennsylvania.
Right.
Anyway, so they take a knee and they say, okay, a moment of silence for George Floyd. Right over their so-called moment of silence, and they all get triggered. Terry, it was like poking a bee's nest. They all get triggered. So much for the silence for George. That goes out the window.
Right.
I forget what they were yelling at me back. It was great. So I was like, there ain't gonna be no silence for George Floyd. There's no silence for Cannon. There's no silence for George Floyd.
Well, that's all there is silence for Cannon. So.
Yeah, right. Excellent. That's a bumper sticker right there. Silence for George Floyd, but definitely silence for Cannon. Anyway, yeah, so that begins it all. Then they get up, and then they finally get up and start marching again. We're gonna start moving. And I get some old geezer comes up to me with a fist and like sort of does an air swing past my face. And I'm like, whatever. I almost wish he would have hit me. God, that would have been great.
I mean, that's it. We're
it right there.
That fucking does it, you know.
No, I was just like, go ahead. Make sure you hit the button.
It's on then.
Yeah, no, there's nothing on. I would just have him arrested for assault. That'd be it. I wouldn't engage. I wouldn't re-engage, not because I'm a coward, but because the easiest thing to do is just call the cops and have that guy destroyed for an assault. That's it. It's easy. Yeah. He wasn't a black guy, by the way, so it's even easier. And that's the thing. 75% of this group was so-called what they define as white people.
Right.
So then they go around to the police station. They park their asses down by the police station. We walk across the street, go to the police station.
So they're protesting the Exeter police.
No,
I don't understand why they decided to walk to the police station.
Right. If it's not about the Exeter police,
if it's not about them, then why go there, right?
So you know is why it's there. Now they had a permit from noon to 4 p.m.
Right.
All right. So I'm thinking, so they're going to hang out. Well, at first, we didn't know what we were looking at. We only knew that there was some march coming down the road. So we didn't even. But once we saw how small it was, I guess it was 50 people, maybe 60. I mean, I'll be generous and give them 60. Let's just be nice, even though I know there's no way. Anyway, once we saw how small the crowd was and how the majority of them were a bunch of dopey high school kids thinking they're virtue signaling, they're not really any of them oppressed. So they go over there, and like you said, so they're pretending that they're just there to talk to our community, but they choose the police station, the park in front, right? Just like you said. So then they start to get together, and they start. I didn't hesitate 1 minute. So basically, my beef right now is that the hypocrisy of our governor is that he has all the inner city charter schools shut down right now for so-called.
Right.
But meanwhile, the only thing that inner city kids have going for them are these schools.
Right.
The sports programs, the schools themselves, the after programs.
Yeah.
They don't have homes. They can't run out and do digital homeschool online. If they're lucky, they have cable in their homes. Some of these poor people, let alone Wi-Fi enough to run, or a parent that's interested enough to sit there and homeschool them.
Right.
They don't have any of that.
Right.
And they try to turn that on me, like somehow it's my fault. I'm like, I want them to go to school. That's what our taxpayers paid for. We have a school system. It's called charter schools, and they're regularly rigorous, and they have uniforms, and and all the black parents in the inner city and all the minority and poor try their best to get their kids who they love into those schools.
Well, sure they do, because they know that public schools are horrible.
Right. The general public schools, which are still closed as well, just to bring it up. I mean, they couldn't even go there. But you're right. So any parent who actually loves their children. So here's these hypocrites, and that's what I'm screaming. You hypocrites are here protesting a rich, white, affluent public school when you should be down in Philadelphia protesting the wolf for shutting down the only good thing in some of these kids' lives. They don't get to play basketball. They don't get to play football. They don't get any of those things. Well, it's a stereotype. I said, I don't mean that. Chess club. They don't have anything.
Right.
So, but I did it at the top of my lungs with my full heavy metal voice.
You need a megaphone or something.
I didn't need a megaphone. Dude, I brought it in. I was like, I was surprised how loud my voice was. I annoyed myself sometimes on the video. But it was good. It was a good day. But they packed up. They weren't there but an hour, and then they ended up packing up and walking away. And again with another police escort all the way back up back to the road.
Yeah.
I had some interaction with some of the more intelligent people there who said they were only there because they want to express and highlight the issues of Black Americans. I'm like, well, that's fine. Why do you got to use BLM to do that?
Yeah.
Well, because it says Black Lives Matter. I said, dude, that's a slogan. I go, where did you get that button? He goes, I don't know. They gave it to me. It's a black guy. And he was a nice guy. He was very intelligent. And he kept trying to. They all kept coming up to me and telling me I had to quiet down. I said, no, I don't. You guys got megaphones and speakers over there. I don't have to quiet down. I'm not quieted.
Right.
But then they try to make it like, well, because you're yelling, you're irrational, and we're the rational ones. So I took a minute to talk to the one guy. Anyway, and he refused to point on the charter schools in the city because he kept saying, well, I'm not here because of Democrat or Republican. And I was like, I know that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That this governor has shut down something that was the only good thing in these people's lives.
Right.
Maybe not the only. That's a bit of a hyperbole. But generally, the whole assumption is this is one of the highlights of their year to get to go to school, see their friends, do something constructive, not hang on a corner. And our governor has it shut down for a 99.8% disease.
Right.
And he marched with Black Lives Matter, this governor, in Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you have a mask on?
Part of the way, but not always. And then the other time, but they weren't 6 foot apart. And that was the other thing with this group.
Yeah.
They all had, they had masks on, but then they would take it off to yell at me. You don't have a mask on. I go, no, I don't. It's not a law. I don't have to wear a mask in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to wear a mask. And the one guy took it off. There was one troublemaker there. I could tell he was like an Antifa wannabe. Mm-hmm. And he was not joining this group because he cared about the plight of the poor minority. I can tell you that. I just know it. And I was egging him on through the whole video. I was like aiming at him. I said, I know you're a troublemaker. And they kept coming over too because they knew. They kept coming. I can't think of it. I don't want this all to come out as a boast, but it was like people got to stand up to these people, and then you'll find. And so I met 2 or 3 irrational ones, and we ended up walking and talking together. And I gave them a nice water, and we shook hands, and because there shouldn't be any race strife in this country. I don't care. I don't hate black people. You don't hate black people. Most black people don't hate us until this bullshit started.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the point of that.
Right.
I mean, I see in Colorado though, you people took Antifa out.
They did in Fort Collins. Yeah, that was up in Fort Collins. I think they were more. No, that's way north. That's way north of us.
Half chin from you. That's all I got.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta sit up. I gotta sit up. No, that was that was north of us. It's about an hour north of Denver.
You heard about it, right?
Yeah, I saw it on YouTube. Yeah, and I was trying to figure out where it was, and they didn't say on the video where it was, but they did have it on the news, a little bit of it. And they said it was
reported. I would imagine, not positively.
Yeah. But
it seemed like Antifa got their ass beat by the locals and the police.
Yeah, they did. They did because the one guy pulled a knife at some point in that tussle.
In the ditch.
Yeah. Well, that's because the there was a veteran dude in a wheelchair,
right,
and he was following them down this path because they pushed him off the street, and
the Antifa pushed him.
no, the good people pushed
Okay.
Antifa off the street.
Right. Okay.
And they went back in this between the houses, and there was a big field, and then there was this ditch. And right as they got to the ditch, all of a sudden you start to see arms and legs, and blah 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 blah. And then there's this fucking Viking
trench warfare now.
Fucking Viking melee in the bottom of this pit.
This is
they were tearing them up, and then one of them apparently pulled a knife on somebody, and they got the knife out of his hand and then beat the fuck out of him, and that's when the cops showed up. And
finally, right.
And then one of them tried to
going, oh, look at that! Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. Well, then one of them tried to hit a cop or something.
Yeah.
And he kind of ran into the field, and then they tackled him and drug his ass out. Yeah.
Well, man, my whole point is if you give pushback to these people, they'll show their true colors, and the police will obviously see who the bad guys are. I mean, even the press as best as they can. So, I mean, at this thing, I got interviewed by the local newspaper. So the reporter apparently was there, and she comes up. Well, you're the most passionate. Would you like to make a comment? I said, sure, but I'm not going to tell you my name. Doxing me. Somebody's finding me.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way one time.
But so she asked me stuff and everything. So I read the report, and like I told you before, so when they tried to go to the Silence for George Floyd kneel down in the middle of the road, I started screaming, no new normal. Because to me, the new normal is the Marxism. That's what they want to install, the new normal. So I'm screaming no new normal. They reported that we were screaming no new world order.
Oh.
Well, and what's that make us sound like? Tinfoil hat,
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I even have the video, and I have to send it right away.
Did you send him a letter and say you need to make a correction?
No, I will, but I don't know what the point is. Nobody reads the paper anyway. I will. I guess I should.
Just say, there's truth in journalism, man. Get it right. Yeah. Get your story right.
Yeah, but nobody's going to see it. It's already out. My point is, it's kind of a moot point. Nobody does the follow.
No. It's not a moot point if you make them make a retraction, because they have to print the retraction.
You'll see the retractions.
That's okay. That's okay. They have to do it. That's right.
You're right. Right. I'm being lazy. It's not that hard. I can prove it right away. But. And she asked me my name. I said, I'll give you my initials, JK, which are my initials. And I thought she was going to video me because I had a Trump hat on. And I only wore it. I'm not trumped up per se. There's a lot of things I'm pissed off about, but I'm definitely voting for him. There's no question about it. Right. And I knew the hat would just totally torch them people, so I put it on.
I like it when people wear red hats that have the same font and lettering, but it doesn't say the same thing, but it has the same sort of look about it. So from a distance,
right?
And then so when you get closer, they're all blah 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 blah. And you're like, well, read the hat. It says blah blah blah. What are you getting so triggered about? You dick.
Are you triggered?
Yeah, right. Right.
It's a good one. I'm gonna make them sell them.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, I spent a good time just shouting. My voice just came back the other day.
Oh, really? Don't hurt that. Don't hurt that. Those vocal cords.
Nah, there's nothing gold there. Come on, Tara. It actually gives me a little more rasp. Gives me a little more blues.
Okay.
Distortion.
A little bit more distortion.
Yeah. Oh, hold on a second.
All right.
Hello? I'm in the shed talking to Terry. Yes, I do. I want 2. You only have 4, well, then I get 2, and everybody else can suffer. I'm the man of the house. You can get 2, and I can get 2. All right. Bye. Yeah. 2 mooches don't get my hot dogs.
That's right.
They're at my house.
Go to the store and get your own hot dogs.
Go down to McDonald's, get something to eat. My wife says, saying, you want a hot dog? I want two. I don't eat one hot dog. Who eats one hot dog?
That's right. You have just one. That's wrong. I had two last night, as a matter of fact.
It's just the way it should be.
Exactly.
So, anyway, so that's the political environment here. Like I said, they were supposed to be there till 4. They didn't make it till they were there an hour. And they had speakers over there, and every time a new speaker would come up, I'd start shouting something else really loud. And I had a lot of the young triggered Karens coming up to me with their masks on, and this is, you've seen this on all the videos. They all come up and go, "Can I just speak to you for a minute?" With the girl, "Can I just speak to you for a minute?"
I can't understand what you're saying. I can't. Sorry, I can't understand what you're saying.
So the thing is, they're faking the sincerity, and all they want to do is harp on you.
Right.
They just want to lay into you. They don't want to talk. They don't want to have a dialogue. But I said to every one of them, I said, "Yeah, if you take your mask off, I'll have a conversation with you. Otherwise, I don't want to have anything to do with you." "Oh, I can't take my mask off." I said, "Well," and the one more got me, "I can't take my mask off. I have a condition." I go, "Well, I can't wear a mask. I have a condition." So there we are. And I walked away. Yeah, none of them. And then there's always the half black, sort of like Latino who's sitting there with her phone going, "Oh, you think you're so smart? Look at you." That's basically her whole conversation.
Right.
"Oh, you're just a racist." And she had like a tiger stripe, super fancy Paris Hilton face mask on, trying to represent poor blacks across the country. Hypocrisy, Terry. It's hypocrisy.
It is.
And if I got through to maybe 2 of them in there to see, I figure it was worth it. But one guy goes, "Well, read the button." I said, "Yeah, it says Black Lives Matter." To me, all human life matters, dude. I don't care who you are. And he goes, "Yeah, but people who look like me and him, this is their other thing. But you don't have to go through what." And he was real funny. I should have took him up on this. He goes, "If you and I, for instance, were to charge that police car cruiser over there with the cops in them, they would target me, not you." I go, "Are you out of your mind? Do you know Exeter police? You have no idea. Exeter police will take you downtown, Judy Brown. They don't care who you are. They love it. They love to slam you to the sidewalk if they can help it."
Right.
I should have took him up. I said, "Let's walk over to the police cruiser.
Let's go.
Ask the policeman if that would be the case."
Right.
No, you don't want to do that. No, of course not. Not that the cop would probably be honest about it, nor could he be.
Right.
But, and then the other point he kept trying to make was that, well, you don't understand. As a white guy, you don't have to fear the police like we do. Okay, maybe he has a valid point about that. Maybe, there is that issue that, but whose fault is it? I go, is that my fault? That the police think most black people are criminals? Or is it the black people's fault?
Who happen to be criminals. Who happen to be committing crime.
They're all criminals, but their culture pushes criminality, right? Or has a majority criminal. What do you want me to do about it? I didn't cause that. Yeah, but that's not the issue. The issue here is the cops themselves looking at us differently. And because of fear. So it's like, because of fear, they have the right to do what they're doing, react the way they're reacting, BLM. So wait a minute. White people are afraid of black people. Is it okay? Oh, jeez.
Hot dogs?
No. White people are afraid of black people. I'm not personally, but and as a general rule, they get afraid of black people. So is the fear the justification for their stereotyping of you? I mean, you just said that fear justifies your actions. The fear of the police justifies your... Well, why can't white people be afraid of black people then?
Right. Right.
Ow.
One doesn't work because it doesn't follow the strict narrative. So, like an alternate opinion is...
Yeah, and every one of them wanted to talk to me sincerely and rationally. All wanted basically to pontificate. They didn't want to have a discussion.
Right.
And so neither did I. And frankly, right. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to waste my breath on you if you're just not going to,
right.
you know. Yeah, it was funny. I don't know. It was fun. I hope they come back. I had some concern about doxing and getting like caught up by these pricks because they're just nasty people. They are vindictive. Right. They don't have love and concern for others. Mm-mm. Like they. I like Colorado's reaction though better than Pennsylvania's.
I saw a video from Sturgis yesterday. Did you see that one?
Yes. Did you hear that sound?
Yeah.
Did you ever hear a sound like that in the back? You know, all the angry people back there. These punk ass. Well, that guy wasn't punk ass. He was
big. He was like 6'5", at least 6'5". Yeah, he was big.
He thought
head and shoulders over everybody else, but I'm not even sure why they took him down because I couldn't see what happened. All I saw was something happened and all the cops went, you know.
Yeah, right. I think he swung his sign at someone, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
But again, this is it getting interesting. This is my hope that, you know, the Blue Lives got to see who's on their side. Yeah. And I don't care what their mayors are saying, and I don't care what they're. I mean, I know Exeter, they were going by and giving us thumbs up, and we were saluting them. It was like they were smiling. I'm hoping that I got a little bit of cred for my property here now, because I know they know who I am. I know the Exeter police constantly circle our area. They just know who I am. So I'm trying to build a little layer of
right.
For when the shit hits the fan, maybe I'll get a little blue love.
Yeah, right.
But no, I saw that video. So if you watch the video, the sound of the anger from the crowd towards these people, and they better pay attention.
It's just people are just tired of the shit, you know.
And it's growing. I think they really underestimate how mad we're starting to get, and they're going to find out. And unfortunately, you go too far the other way. That's how we end up with disasters like we do in history.
Right.
But the Marxists don't care. They don't care how we burn down our country as long as we burn it down.
Yeah.
They really do. And one of the things I was saying at that pro screaming, you just want to burn it down. You don't care about it. You don't want to fix it. You don't want nothing like that. You just want to burn it down. I met a Reading high school teacher. She took her mask off. I said, good, so I can get you fired. And she goes, well, they won't fire me. I said, you're probably right, but I could try. Well, I wasn't going to try. I just wanted her to work. What is sitting in her head?
And don't they have rules about that kind of thing?
Yeah, don't you think that why do teachers get to take kids from the high school and involve them in a heavily Marxist political movement?
I mean, they can. Yeah. So you can. Okay. So if you're a political science teacher, and you're trying to do it from like a learning perspective, right?
I don't even agree with it there. The point is,
but that's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, exactly. If you're purposely putting them into a potentially volatile situation, then that's probably not going to be cool with the student administration. Did they have permission slips? Did all the kids have permission slips?
I am telling you, Exeter are a bunch of. I want to say. Well, I can't say what I want to say. They're a bunch of weak. Starts with a P. It's a bunch of weak. Starts with a P. And it's a nickname for a cat. Anyway, they roll right. They would never come after anybody on this issue. Nobody. It's because they're all a bunch of. I'm Dr. Sylvia whatever face. I'm Dr. Sylvia face. You know, midwit head of all Exeter schools, and I agree with Black Lives Matter. You know, that's just how it is. But as far as parents and the teachers, your students are being led into a situation that is uncontrolled. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. But you won't let them play football because it's dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the hypocrisy is so pure. It's so pure. It's maddening. And I think the Republicans fail because they don't get, the Democrats don't care about being hypocrites.
Right.
You can call them on it all day.
Right.
Yeah, do something about it. What are you gonna do? Who cares? They're just evil. But could you imagine if these teachers took 25 students, got a hold of 25, because they had to get a hold of them somehow.
Right.
So they got a hold of 25 students at their high school and said, let's go down to the Baptist tent mission. And we're going to have a baptism in the school. And we want you all to come down and hear Christ preach to you from the Bible. And then if you want, you can get baptized. And could you imagine? And they marched them down. They got a permit, and they got the police to march them down to the river.
Yeah.
Do you imagine what would go on?
Oh, I know what would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it'd be on CNN coast to coast, and the Supreme Court would get.
Yeah.
The president would have to comment.
Right.
But no, the other thing, they put them in the religion of Marxism, and that's perfectly fine. Yeah. Perfectly. I just have
to think that there's got to be something in the administrative bylaws of the school that prevents a certain level of interaction for political reasons. Like it's supposed to be like they're supposed to teach politics. They're supposed to teach about government, but they're not supposed to get involved in influence, like one way or the other.
They get around it because the teachers are there as just free citizens, and the students are there as free citizens.
You can't.
They just happen to get together.
No. That's not going to fly.
I'm just saying that's not
going to fly. That's not going to fly.
It should fly, but I bet you it will.
Any attorney would pick that apart and say, no, you have a relationship. And so if you know these people personally, you have a relationship, and you're unfairly influencing them. Out of school, right? If you're going to do that, if you're going to have a conversation about politics, you have it in school, and it should be an apolitical conversation of politics, meaning these are the Democrats, these are the Republicans, we have a two-party system, blah, 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 blah. It's not activism. See, as soon as you bring activism into education, now it's indoctrination. That's a whole different fucking ballgame.
Well,
right?
That's what they've been doing, though, Terry. They've been doing that,
dude. They've been doing that for a generation. The Cold War never ended. Yeah. Dude, it never ended. It just shifted venues, and nobody saw it. Well, people saw it, but nobody listened.
I saw it. That's why I homeschooled my kids.
But nobody listened, right?
So no, nobody listens. You're a tinfoil hat weirdo saying there's communists everywhere. But the other issue is that if you want to voice your complaint as a citizen of Exeter Township, well, the school board meetings are closed to the public right now.
Of course they are.
Right? And the township meetings, where I would go and say, who gave these people the permit? I want to know which one of you people up here said it would be a good idea to have Black Lives Matter march in our community. Not that you did anything illegal, but I want to know who you are.
It's in the public record. You can get it. You just got to put a request in. It'll take a while.
Yeah,
it's all public. It's all public knowledge, though.
But they have us blocked out of our own meetings. Like, we can't go there. You know what I mean? But they can continue to make rules and regulations, but we're not allowed to go and give our public input on those rules and regulations before they make them happen.
Okay. So
or complain about them once they've made them
happen. That's not necessarily legal. What's the reason why they don't?
COVID.
They can do it on. They can do it on Zoom then. Like, they have a public Zoom meeting and everybody comes in. Right?
I'm going to go down to the township and walk in maskless, and I'm just going to walk in. And I'm hoping some of the police will recognize me and not give me any trouble. Come on, man, it's me, me. It's your bro dog.
Right.
No, I won't go there. No. you can only rely on that a little bit. Yeah. They have pensions involved and shit. They ain't gonna put your mask on. Okay, well, now I'll leave. Forget it. So, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do, Tara. We started talking about this 3 months ago, and it's not getting any better. I think it's good.
It's because the election hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but Terry, this is what bothers me. We putting a lot of eggs in that election basket. We're putting all our eggs, the whole enchilada, for what it will mean to be the United States of America.
I understand that, and I know that. See, here's the thing. I was thinking about this morning.
All right, you're all forehead right now, Tara.
In my thinking about this morning in my little thoughts that I have every morning. But even if Trump does get reelected, right? Does anybody think that it's going to be any better? No, it's going to be even a worse climate. If he gets 4 more years, they're going to turn a dial up, and it's going to go up and up and up and up. And
however, he will have cuffs off. He's not going to get reelected again.
True.
He doesn't have to worry about that. He doesn't have to worry about public opinion anymore. We're hoping he has the balls to be the policeman that we hired him to be.
I hope so. Because I
don't know. No, it's totally going to happen. Where, see, I don't know. Think about it this way. Maybe they've shot their load, though, Tara. Did you ever think of that? They aren't this big a group as the media portrays them. They amplify them. If you think about the 2016 election map, America is red.
From here to here is red. Everything from here to here is blue, right? The coast.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So
you're saying they're going to burn the coast down?
Well, where are they going to go? They've already been to New York. They've already trashed Portland. Minneapolis is a war zone. What are they going to do? Just go there and continue, and just blow them up?
Well, they're not going to come to the rural areas where the Proud Boys hang. You know that. They can come out here all they want, and they're going to get the same treatment. They're not going to survive coming out here.
So they're going to go to the most easiest place,
the cities.
Right? Some other Democrat-run city, like, I don't know, is Wisconsin. Yeah, we'll go to Michigan. We'll go to maybe not Detroit because they haven't fucked
Detroit's already screwed up,
right? Or maybe Baltimore, or somewhere else that's
My daughter's in Baltimore. Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, my point is, though, this is something. What we're all being. You remember that? You remember the movie My Cousin Vinny?
Yep.
So I use RCD. Why not? A little product placement. Sorry, use RCD. So in the movie, My Cousin Vinny is a famous scene. He uses a playing card. He goes, the prosecutor is going to say he has a solid case. It looks like a brick. It's square and it's got things, right? It's got 4 sides. It's got this side and that side, and it makes sense and it's all there. Right? It's 4 square, right? But if you turn it a certain way, it's as thin as that, right? And now that's a scene in My Cousin Vinny where he's trying to convince them to let me, defend you, because their case may look like this, like a square, like solid, but it's really this thin, and all we got to do is bust through it. And I get the impression that all these Marxists are about looking like this on CNN, but if you really push comes to shove, they're paper tigers. Yeah. Do you agree? I mean, do you think that's?
I haven't seen any organized anything that I would call something that's very organized
on their side.
On their side. Now maybe in Chicago. We haven't done
anything organized on our side either, but maybe we don't feel we have to. But go ahead.
Well, not yet. They're not there yet.
Yeah, right. Okay. We're very patient.
Now there was that thing where it was a bunch of black dudes with a bunch of AR-15s, and they were like marching somewhere in the south.
It was the 15s or 22s.
I don't know. Ones they showed on TV were AR-15s. And,
they had some ARs.
Something that looked kind of tactical, but there's that group, right? And they kind of came out, and you heard about them for a while, and now you don't hear anything about them because they shot each other. Like they had like an unintended incident or something, and right? They shot like 3 of their own dudes.
This is my point, that I think that maybe they've already put all in, and then when it comes after the election, they won't have any more gas in the can. Although BLM has a lot of money now.
Yeah.
The question is, I don't know.
Aren't the feds questioning where all the money's coming from? Like, somebody should be So at some point, somebody should be going, "Hey, let's check your accounting here."
Dude,
BLM.
I'm in this place where for decades I don't trust the federal government. Before any of this, I never trusted the federal government.
I don't trust them half-assed either. But
after Waco and Ruby Ridge and
I
all
do
that
know
nonsense.
that in general, when you start getting that kind of dough, somebody should be looking at it and going, "Okay, we know you got a bunch of dough. Who's your accountant? And let me see the books. Where's this coming from?" Right? I mean, they do that for less.
Yeah.
Rate. So why aren't they doing it to them? You know, they know they're a political,
because they're Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, but they're a political organization now, and they're highly volatile.
But race is the third rail. You can't touch it as a politician. The minute you criticize it, it's demonic. The slogan Black Lives Matter is so impenetrable as a slogan that only the devil could have invented it. Because no matter how you come at it, it keeps sounding like you don't care about Black lives, which is a bullshit.
Well, then you don't go at it like this. You go at it like that, and you say, "Where's the money? Show me the money. Money's green. Where's the money coming from?" Right? Because we know they're getting donations. They're getting donations from
Terry,
Nike.
You even complained on Facebook today about they haven't prosecuted Hillary Clinton. They haven't prosecuted anybody but this really minor little lawyers getting a little bit of pushback.
Don't get me started on that.
Right. Well, I'm saying it was a very good post you put. So the point is that I'm torn because here I am rah-rahing for the federal government, who's been my sworn enemy for 20 years. It's all I'm left with. Really? It's terrible. It is. I have an existential problem here.
Oh, no.
I mean, you think about it. You got 9/11, Ruby Ridge, Waco, the Iraq War.
Yeah. The track record is not very good. I'll tell you that right now. But...
Oh, man, I don't know what we're gonna do. We deserve it, I think, as a country. I mean, not us, obviously. There's always the exceptions. I don't know. Maybe you have to turn up the heat to get the scum to boil off. And that's my point. Maybe this has been the summer of the scum boiling off, because they're not very bright. These people. That is our strength and their weakness. They are not very bright. The Antifas are not very bright. The BLM people are not very bright.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I say we, I mean all just decent Americans of any ethnicity or whatever, are just knowing that we're just going to watch you destroy yourselves. We're not going to jump in the fray right now. There's no reason to.
No, there's not. Not at the moment.
No, I suppose if Biden wins, I don't know what.
I don't even know. Like I try not to go there because I'm hoping. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm hoping.
The only way he wins is they cheat. Now that's the question on the table.
Right.
You know they're going to cheat. First off, they've already set up this whole mailing bullshit. So the question is, can we overcome the cheat? And reminded of the hanging Chad issue with Bush Jr.
The Chads. Chad and
Remember the Chads kept
us. I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so the Supreme Court gets to elect our president. Yeah. And luckily, well, I don't know if it was luckily. I mean, who ran against Bush that year? Oh, it was Gore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
6-1 in that case, but in this case, it won't be 6-1. So the Supreme Court steps their butt in, which they've already cut our throats as conservatives 3 times right in a row. If they put their face in and make Biden president, I don't know, man.
He's not going to make Biden president. He's not going to be president. He's he's not going to run the show. They're just going to wheel him out, put him in the Oval Office and wheel him out in a wheelchair and wheel him back in.
That's not my point. The presidency. I don't care if it's him or not. The point is, if it's not Trump, we're screwed. We're going to have to react. I don't know what the reaction will have to be, but because I can see it coming down to Trump rightly pointing out the mail-in ballots are causing fake readings in Florida and Pennsylvania. They're causing fake readings. I won, and asshole going, I won, let me sniff your hair, I won, right? So they're going to be fighting, and then it'll come down to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court go, no, we have to allow it because Biden won because the mail-in votes were valid. Now what do you do?
Well, then there's going to be all kinds of litigation around that. That'll take
litigation. Yeah. What's going to happen to the country?
Well, in the meantime, I don't know, right? So that's why I'm buying ammo. So,
because then Trump steps in and goes, "Wait a minute, I'm still president right now, and I still have the ultimate power over all of this. I don't care what you say." Right. So now we got a constitutional crisis. Right. The military will have to get involved. They'll either have to pick sides. It'll be a junta. It'll be like South America here.
Which is what they want.
So you better vote for Trump, everybody. You have to be out of your mind, even if you don't like him. Right. You don't want that on your plate. Yeah, I don't know. So it's because Trump's already making noises like he's not going to allow by executive order mail-in voting. So that maybe if he's smart, he'll do that now and get it in front of the court.
No, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird where these conversations kind of happen because right now it's all about the post office for some reason. Right? It's all about the postal service. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's right. So the one institution that all Americans complain about is going to be tasked with the most important election in the United States history. Yeah. Really? Okay.
You're just like, yeah, all right.
Sure, why not?
They can't deliver Christmas presents on time.
Did you see my meme? Where the guy, I found it on the internet. It was actually a video, and I had to do screenshots, but it's really funny. So it's the guy sitting there all laughing, and it's December 31st. It's 11:59.
Oh yeah,
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clicking.
December 32nd.
Yeah, it goes December 32nd. He's like, ah! 2020 lasts. 2020 is not going away.
Right.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I've never thought I'd see this year. I never thought this country would be this way right now. I knew it. My wife and I talk about this all the time. We knew it would be some kind of shit hitting the fan, but not like this. It's so embarrassing. It's not even noble. It's not even like a noble like roar civil war. You know, it's like this weaselly. Like you caught your wife cheating with the pool boy. Kind of disgusting. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's how America's down in some kind of dirty, disgusting weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like this great noble battle between the forces of left and right, and we fight and we protect America, or we balkanize.
That's because the right and the left. Now you have. Well, what they say they're the Democrats, but they're not. They're coming at it as like on a false pretense. It almost feels like the Democratic Party, like you and I grew up with, right?
Yeah, right.
It's not. None of that exists anymore. But they still kept the name. It's like, why don't you get rid of the Democratic name and brand yourself the socio-Marxist party? Because that's what you are. Why don't they just say it, right? Because if they say it and they believe it, no one will vote for it. No sane people vote for it.
That's why they won't do it.
So that's a false pretense, right? So
my hope was through this was that the Democrat Party would basically implode into insignificance. The Republicans would become the quote unquote liberal party, and we would get a party to the right of Trump, who I would support. You know, that's what we need. I mean, we need a party to the right of Trump. You know, Trump is great. Centrist, if you ask me. He's a great centrist, and I will vote for him. But we need a party to the right of him, and let the Republicans take up the mantle of civil rights, and because they're better at it. The Democrats are just fucking evil. They bring nothing to the table of our society. There's not one democratic idea they have
that's worth
that I can get behind, except maybe forgiveness of student loans. I I can get behind that one. As long as it's for everybody.
Right.
And then if the people that did pay student loans, they also get a check.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to stiff them poor people who actually pay their student loans. So that's one thing.
They don't have to give me a check. They don't have to give me a check. They just have to give me a tax holiday for 15 years. No tax.
Yeah.
I pay no tax for 15 years.
Yeah, however
long it took me to pay my student loans off.
And take the money out of Goldman Sachs and Discover student loans and fucking vaporize them companies and take all their assets to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because they totally raped the student body of America for the last 20 years.
They sold everybody snake oil, and everybody sucked it up. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I did. I sucked it up. No?
Yeah. So, well, okay. So, getting back to my initial point, that's the only thing, and that's a Bernie idea. And thank God he picked Harris, Kamala, which is how Joe Biden calls him. So that's what I'm going to call her from now on. Joe Biden calls her Kamala. So Kamala.
Well, apparently, her family owned slaves.
Yeah, right. So he picks Kamala, which has been a gift. That's a gift, like you said. So she owns slaves. A shout out to Dinesh D'Souza.
Yeah, right.
So she owns slaves. Not only that, that thing I sent you with what's her name, the other candidate for Democrats. What was her name? She's a veteran.
Oh, Tulsi Gabbard. She's awesome.
Tulsi.
Yeah.
All right.
No, she's very
left wing. I don't care how awesome she is.
Well, what she did. No,
that one she slams Harris.
Exactly. That was great. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Points out. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying, because I had a lot of conservative bros going, Tulsi's okay actually. I'm like, yeah, no, she's not okay actually. Because when you really get down to all of her policies, a lot of them are hard left wing. Anyway, but in this point, she was dead on. She hit her. She said, "Look, you kept a guy in death row. Kept him on death row just for your own fucking benefit." You know, that's in that. And everybody should watch it. Yeah. So it was a gift because we have all these Democrat, what do you call them? The debates, where Harris makes a complete ass of herself.
So she said publicly she thinks Joe's a rapist. She believes all the women, right?
He's a rapist, right?
He's a rapist. She says she believed it. So why they have to be bringing that up? They have to.
Took a white rapist. Yeah. It's a gift. It's a political gift.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be bringing that up then. From now till November.
You know, CNN and them won't bring it up.
No, but it's got to be coming up. You know, all that stuff. What about all the families of the people that she threw in jail when she was the AG in California? Like she was pretty tough on crime. But what about all those people?
About cops that the blacks supposously hate.
Exactly. So why is anybody talking about that? It's like, are those people going to vote for her? Are all those?
She's not, and she's not
uncles,
black.
Aunts and uncles, and blah blah. You know,
and she's black. Husband's white. The one she cheated on with a black guy. I guess she's black because she's what? Because she cheated with a black guy. Is that it? Does that make her black? See, I don't even like the term black. I brought this up at the protest to the guys. I go, you have me at a disadvantage because I can't use the term white and black. I mean, I will, but I don't believe in them. I don't believe in the terms white and black. I don't think it's as simple as that.
Right.
We're not white and black. I said to them, and they answered in the affirmative. I said, when Jesus was nailed to the cross, what color did he bleed? Yeah, well, that's what color we all are. All behind the mask are. They didn't know what this was. They're all like frozen screenshots. The best time was when I said, dude, you ain't black. Look at your shirt. Your shirt's black. Look at your skin. Is that black? Is that black? I said, look, in fact, I'm not white. I'm kind of
tan. I'm kind of like a mauve or, you know.
Yeah, and you're like kind of a caramely, like a coffee color. Oh, the face. You can feel the mask all sucked in. And he just saying it. They're trying to get air. The masks are on our side because they couldn't get air when they want to yell. Right. Did he just say that? They're like sucking wind through their masks. I'm like laughing at them. But the guy actually that I said that to, right, he kind of laughed. I said, "See, you saw Chappelle's show too." I said, he said, "What up, lad? We're kind of caramely." Anyway. All right, we're coming up on an hour, Terry.
All right.
I think this is a good one. We're gonna publish this on whole. Maybe I'll splice it in some of the videos. But I gotta go eat my hot dogs.
Go eat your hot dog.
Go eat my white man food. My racist hot dogs.
Normal. No new normal. No new normal. No new normal. You're a joke. 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 You don't know what history is. You never learned history. Yeah, your mask is off. Better put it on as it gets along. No new normal! 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 That's all we need to show. They show their real selves. They always show their real selves. That they're angry and hateful. They don't believe in peace. They don't believe in America. They don't believe in doing anything good for our country. They believe in burning it down. That's all they